takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
the guy that rolls his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Good to see you here for yet another day and another show. We truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And again, appreciate you for joining in here on a Tuesday. But thank you very much. And no, we haven't given away the jersey yet. There is a membership discrepancy with somebody. They emailed me. So we are going to have to try to figure that out, which I'm trying to. The person, and I'm not going to call them out, they know who they are. And it's not a bad thing. They claim to be a member and it's not showing up that they're a member. So, in order to be fair, I have to be 1000% fair. I have to make sure that I figure that out and make sure that I correctly make sure who's in, who's out, because it's not fair for somebody to be in if they're not in, and it's not fair for somebody to be out if they're not supposed to be out. So, I want to make sure that it's fair, and it might just have to wait until tomorrow. So we'll see. I did put in like an email because I don't see the person's name, but we are going to give this away, man. It is coming here in the next what day? Today, maybe we'll see. But we'll figure it out, and we're going to be fair to everybody because that's how we roll here, and we're not going to leave anybody out ever. So that's how we'll get it done here. We'll figure it out and make sure it's completely fair. But I am going to say this: anybody that becomes a member after that wasn't a member by 5:30 today, which I have a screenshot of, you won't be in it. So everybody that's in there right now that was in there by 5:30 today, you are the only ones in it. There's 107 of you that are in there, and maybe 108. Just to we'll see, but there's definitely 107 in there. So again, just to be fair, that's what we're gonna do. Nah, he ain't getting cut, Tom. He ain't getting cut. TJ Watt ain't getting cut. But we're gonna talk about some of the players that could be getting cut here, and that's something that definitely we might want to dive into here on a Tuesday. And again, I appreciate that very, very much. Also, just to handle some other business, I want you guys. I didn't get a chance to load the picture. I forgot, but I took a screenshot. I want to make sure that you guys go over and check out some work from Jay Hook that he just put out in a collaboration on a guy's excuse me, with a new music video. And I did post that in the community tab. It just shows you the talent that Jay Hook and company have. So I want you guys to go and check that out and support those guys. And make sure you subscribe and like and share Jay Hook and all his music and what he does. And we truly appreciate that and what he does for us. And definitely, it's pretty good. So go check it out. I did post that in the community tab. And that was just one thing I wanted to make sure I took care of. So thank you again to everybody that's joining us. Memberships are always open 99 cents a month, but sorry if you do join tonight, you will not be involved in the TJ Watt jersey giveaway. You won't be involved in that. That will be somebody, or those are only the people that were in there as of 5:30 today, because we have to be absolutely fair, and it's not fair to add other people. So what's up, Big JD? What's up, Miss P? What's up, AWOL, Bang Bang, Steeler Gang, another Wombat, Sugar Ray Robinson Jr., My Floyd is Pink 79, Tom Ford, Ain't No Party Like a Diddy Party. I did say Miss P, I believe. Well, if I didn't, you know Miss P. We love you, baby. Justin Menike in the house. Good to see all of you guys in there. And again, thank you. But we're going to dive into a ton of Steelers stuff. I know it's the dead period. So again, we're not going to have live shows every single day. We're going to do about 3 or 4 here throughout the week just to get through this 5 or 6 week dead period. What do you mean the old school memberships? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure what you mean by that. All you people that were in there, yeah, you all are in there. If you have a star, or you're in there for sure. I have all of you listed. So everybody that's in there, all 107, 108, Yes, you will be in there. Miss Pittsburgh celebrating 15 months of being a member, so you know you're in there, Miss P. Miss P's won before. She won $50 before from us here at Mike Drop Sports, so that was cool, and it was cool to give it to an OG, Miss P. Whenever she won, I was happy to see. So I always like to see the OGs of the channel win any giveaways that we give. That's always cool. But we're gonna dive in here to some Steelers talk again. We'll probably do the jersey tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna be able to resolve it here by tonight because I'm on the show. But again, I'm inquiring, and I'm not gonna leave somebody out if they're not supposed to be left out, or I'm not gonna include them if they're not supposed to be. But we're gonna talk about players that may or may not make this roster, may or may not make it through the summer for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's very important to talk about that, and it's something special that has to be talked about because there's some players that you might not believe that won't be here maybe, and I think that it's a big topic of conversation here right now as we move toward Latrobe, Pennsylvania, and start a Pittsburgh Steelers training camp. That we start to look at some of the players that maybe not in here as the Steelers move into 2025, and some of them may surprise you with some of the players that I may think that have a chance not to be there. I'm not saying that they definitively won't, but there's some reasons why they won't be there, or possibilities of why they won't be there. And I'm going to give you a ton of those reasons. Also, I want to talk about the Minkah Fitzpatrick contract, and he's entering the final 2 years of that deal, guys. A guy that signed a $73.6 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, making him the richest safety in the National Football League at the time in 2022. And now he is out of guaranteed money on that deal. When he signed that deal, when I saw the guaranteed money was literally going to run out, and this time frame, I kind of figured it was going to start to be an issue. And I don't think it's an issue yet between Minkah Fitzpatrick and the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's something that I'm eyeing here. It's something that needs to be looked at because I think Minkah Fitzpatrick wants to have some security. A guy that was a center fielder last year, a guy that wasn't utilized in the way that you would have hoped if you're a Steelers fan, a guy that was an all-pro when he entered the Steelers building, a guy that was just a monster and immediately produced. When he came in, and he came in that game out in San Francisco, against the 49ers, and he instantly made impacts, instantly had splash plays. Fans fell in love with him. And that's what Minkah Fitzpatrick made that $73.6 million deal off of. That's where the Steelers were willing to part with a first round selection to gain the services of Minkah Fitzpatrick. But however, over the last 2 seasons, Minkah Fitzpatrick really hasn't lived up to that billing. A guy that missed 7 games in 2023 due to injury, a guy that has had one forced fumble, one interception over the last 2 years. Is that somebody that you're willing to pay that monster dollars to? I think the answer is no, but I think there's a chance here the Steelers rework that contract, rework it in terms of getting Minkah Fitzpatrick some guaranteed money, and also alleviating some of the cap hit that the Steelers really don't really have to panic about because they have cap space and they're not in cap hell like some teams. But the Steelers may want to rework that deal and make it more beneficial for both sides in terms of guaranteed money for Minkah Fitzpatrick, in terms of cap alleviation, in terms of the cap hit for the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward, and maybe lessen that salary for Minkah Fitzpatrick. You look at, again, maybe something in the possibility, and this is a guess, guys. This isn't something that I'm saying is definitive. This is where I think the Steelers probably are going to start, and I think this is where it kind of ends up if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, based off of his performance over the last 2 years, based off of what you know Minkah Fitzpatrick can do, and what you hope he can do again inside of the black and gold. I'm thinking more like about 2 years, 30 to 33 million probably is where you're looking at with Minkah Fitzpatrick in terms of what that salary is going to look like over those 2 years if you rework a contract, which will alleviate some of the cap space. And I think you give Minkah Fitzpatrick anywhere from $15 to $18 million due at signing cash bonus. And I think that there gives Minkah Fitzpatrick that security of guaranteed money and gives the Steelers some cap flexibility in terms of Minkah Fitzpatrick's contract due to his dramatic drop in performance. Now, is his dramatic drop in performance due to Minka, or is that due to the schematics of the Pittsburgh Steelers and how they deploy Minka? That's a big, big question, and I think that that has to be answered. But you're not really going to see anything until he takes the field this season and see how the Steelers utilize him this year. And did last season, was that a reflection of his 2023 year where he missed so many games due to injury, where he missed 7 games due to being injured? And then when he was on the football field, were they trying to protect him because he was playing injured then? Was 2024 a reflection of that, to where they were trying to preserve Minka Fitzpatrick, allowing him to regain that health and allowing him to just settle back in without causing injury and just kind of put him out in center field and kind of alleviate his duties inside of the box? And that's, again, guys, where you make all the plays. Where did Deshaun Elliott play? He played down in the box. Who made all the plays? Deshaun Elliott. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick was one of the team's leading tacklers. He always is. But that's not a good thing. You don't want safeties leading the team in tackles. It's not a good thing for that to happen. That means that your defense is getting fucking gashed. And that's not something that you want to celebrate. But Minka Fitzpatrick, again, a guy that we know can do good things, that does special things, but how does he execute that? Yeah, I do too. What was the other one? I heard the running back Max Herman, undrafted free agent, has a good chance to make the 53-man roster. I don't see anybody, Tom, ain't no party like a Diddy party for it. I don't see anybody upending the top 3. That's Jalen Warren. That's Kenneth Gainwell. And that's the rookie, Caleb Johnson. I don't see it happening. I don't know who could upend them. You have the Trey Sermons. You have the guy you speak of, the Herman. Those guys aren't probably, unless they come out and blow the doors off of everybody inside of preseason, and I'm talking look fucking spectacular, they're not going to beat out guys like Kenneth Gainwell, guys like Jalen Warren. It's just not going to happen. And especially the rookie, Caleb Johnson, where they got him in round 3 and they love the kid. They want to see what he can do, and that's going to be a guaranteed spot. Jalen Warren, a guaranteed spot. Kenneth Gainwell, in my eyes, a guaranteed spot. So where do you fit in a 4th, 5th running back? I don't know how you do that, in terms of a 53-man roster. I don't see that happening. I don't see them carrying 4 running backs into the 53. I just don't see it. But maybe they do. I think that they'll better serve that elsewhere in terms of maybe an extra wide receiver or something like that. If they were going to carry any extra skill position guys, they would probably use that for weapons for Aaron Rodgers. Maybe another tight end. They carry an extra tight end. Maybe they carry an extra wide receiver. But if there's an extra spot somewhere there that they carry an extra skill position player, I don't see it being at the running back spot. I think it's just not going to happen. But, hey, stranger shit has happened, man. Daniel Barry, what's up? Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Good to see you. The Stinker has 2 years left. I think they just pay him. Yeah, maybe. What's up, Armand? Yeah. 2 years, 32 million makes sense. No more than 2 years. Yeah, I agree. You try to alleviate that cap hit. You don't want to have that to be anything crazy, because he just hasn't been a producer, guys. It's just not been something that he's done. Yes, has his contributions been felt? Yes, but they've been felt in different ways. And when I look at Minka Fitzpatrick, I'm not sure that I'm willing to pay him his current salary right now. And again, I think you need to rework that, figure out how to dampen the blow there, but still make Minka Fitzpatrick happy, because he's not going to take a dramatic pay cut. But I think how you make Minka Fitzpatrick happy is by giving him guaranteed dollars into the back end of that contract. A $73.6 million contract, but 0 guaranteed money remaining for Minka Fitzpatrick on that deal. What's up, AWOL Bang Bang? Still a gang. Aaron Rodgers said this last year. Who's our next quarterback? Aaron Rodgers is about to be, what? done. This is it. He said it on Pat McAfee's show that this is about his last ride. Now, maybe that changes. Maybe he has a change of heart. But as of right now, it's Aaron Rodgers' last year, man. And I'm not looking at 2026 because I think the Steelers have done something here that they want to load up. They want to go after a Lombardi trophy here in 2025. They're not going to sit and lay down for the AFC North or the rest of the AFC conference for that matter. They want to compete now. They don't bring Aaron Rodgers in for next year or to think about next year. It's not even in their mind right now, at least for Mike Tomlin. Now, guys like Omar Khan and Andy Weidel, they're thinking about the future, and I think there's tremendous hope for guys like Will Howard, but people seem to forget they have the ultimate insurance policy, and his name is Mason Rudolph, a guy they signed to a 2-year deal worth $8 million, a guy that is very cheap for them, that is a serviceable veteran that can win ball games. He's the insurance policy, a guy that can get you through a year, and they have him for this year and next year. So they aren't going to be overly concerned because even if Will Howard still maybe shows them the potential that they want to see. They mix him in. Maybe they draft another guy in 2026 and they're happy with it. They'll let those young guys hash it out and battle it out. And they'll allow Mason Rudolph to take the reins, man, and let him save Christmas. That's what they'll do. They'll ride with it. And that's what 2026 has in store for you as a Steelers fan. However, right now in 2025, the Pittsburgh Steelers are loading up to give Aaron Rodgers one magical ride. That's what they want to do. That's the whole thing. That's it. That Aaron Rodgers, they want this to be his swan song. They want this to be his walk-off moment. They want him to hit a walk-off home run, and he seems to think that he is going to have tremendous ability to do so. He said it on Pat McAfee today. I'm going to give it everything I got. I'm going to empty the gas tank, and I'm going to go for it. And to have an ultra motivated Aaron Rodgers, a guy that's extremely happy in his situation, a guy that's not playing for money or ego or nothing, just out there to have a great time and play for the love of the game and finish his career on a high note with guys and a team that he loves. He gave so much praise to the prior Steelers that came before him that he wants to just be with this cornerstone franchise of the NFL and just really bring it home, man, and just really finish this thing on a high note. And that's a dangerous Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, especially when you couple that with a guy like DK Metcalf, who's an absolute man child, an absolute freak of fucking nature. I think that could spell big things. I think that he loves the tight end room and Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington. I think he loves that. I think he loves the run game. I think he loves the young offensive line that has so much potential to be really, really good. And dare I say it, if Broderick Jones takes a leap, my friends, if Broderick Jones takes a leap in 2025, the Pittsburgh Steelers are instantly way better offensively, way better. To have a steady, solid left tackle is absolutely making the Steelers way better. It just is what it is. The old Stinkus cap hit is a lot of previous salary that had already been converted to bonus, giving him up front. I think they finished this contract and maybe sign him to another 2 years. I don't know. I just think that there is a crossroads that you're at with the Steelers because you could cut him tomorrow if you wanted to. You wouldn't be tied to him for really anything. You're not going to like destroy your cap if you cut him if you want to. So Minka Fitzpatrick's performance is going to start to play into this also. They're not just going to carry him around to do nothing. Now, why was his performance that way? Was it injury? Was it him just rebounding from a very tough injury-riddled 2023? Is that the reason? Were the Steelers protecting him? Are you going to see a different Minka Fitzpatrick this year? We'll see. But again, I think the Steelers are at a real crossroad. He's getting up there, man. The last 2 years will be at a reduced rate. Yeah, he's going to be 29 years old. Is he terribly old? No. But when you're talking about defensive backs, it's getting up there. And you're right, Mark. They want to win. They want to win now. But Mike Tomlin wants to win for guys like Minka Fitzpatrick, TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward. He wants to win for those guys. And that is something that the Steelers and, guys like Cam, Minka, TJ, they just Aaron. They're just in this moment in time to where nothing else matters other than winning. And it's going to be something special to see when you put a bunch of guys in a building that the only thing they care about, the only thing that they can see, the only thing that drives them is winning. It's going to be a lot different Pittsburgh Steelers football team in 2025 than you've seen the last few years. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, you don't know that. You're just talking crazy. The Steelers are going to suck. They're going to finish fourth in the division. I've been hearing that fucking shit for 4 or 5 years, how bad they are, how they're going to just finish last in the division. I ain't seen it yet. So, I don't expect to see it here in 2025 either. I expect to see a very, very different Pittsburgh Steelers football team here in 2025. If one of the tackles stink, is the season over? I don't think it's over. I think the Steelers will try to work through that. You had tackles stink last year, and you were a 10-win football team. You had both tackles stinking at one point in the season. Dan Moore started out really, really good, but then he fell off a fucking cliff. We don't know where he went. He hit under a rock somewhere. But Dan Moore, he was just missing. Then Broderick was having his struggles. So they had two tackles that absolutely sucked last year. And let's face it, Russell Wilson isn't no stellar, stunning runner at this point of his career. And they were able to get 10 wins. A typical Mike Tomlin season, a 10-win football team. So if one of the tackles stink, I don't foresee it to be the end all. That's it. I just think it makes it a lot tougher. And I do think if why do I keep saying Minka? I got Minka on the brain. I think if Broderick Jones and Troy Fautanu emerge into, take a big leap or take a leap for that matter, I think the Steelers are really lethal offensively. If you give Aaron Rodgers a little bit of time back there, he is going to surgically dissect your ass in a big way. He just is. He's too damn good. He's too damn smart in terms of above the shoulders. He may be an old guy, but if you give Aaron Rodgers time to beat your ass back there and dissect you and just pick you apart, you're toast. You're toast. And I don't care if it's a 75-year-old Aaron Rodgers. If he has time back there, the guy still got an arm. He's going to whip that thing all over the yard, and it's going to be issues for an opposing defense. And when you have weapons all around you, which they do, and I get it, the George Pickens thing, they traded George, it's over, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. No, it ain't. George Pickens equals headache. George Pickens equals out the fucking door. The Steelers have weapons. They have the potential to have a tremendous run game. You put Aaron Rodgers with a tremendous run game, one of the best play action passers of all time in the National Football League, you're in trouble defensively. It just is what it is. Now, is there a big possibility the Steelers just fall off a cliff and don't do nothing? Absolutely. There's a big possibility that happens. But again, one tackle just being kind of stinky. No, I think they'll work through it and figure it out and band-aid it. And that's what they have to do. That's what you have to do sometimes in the NFL. Tom Ford says, I think we want to go all the way every year, but remember who the head coach is. And I understand that. Mike Tomlin's had his issues, man. He has some severe deficiencies inside of situational football, clock management. He's not very good with the replays. Situational football just isn't sometimes his forte, especially in the last 6 minutes of a football game. I don't think he's very good in terms of timeout utilization situationally. I just think sometimes he's lost, and I think he needs to just have himself a little bit of an assistant up there that rings down to him and kind of guides him through some of those things. Because in the heat of the moment, we're all going to make mistakes in that way. It's just going to happen. It's very tough. So yeah, I understand who the head coach is, and I understand you want to win every year. But this is a Pittsburgh Steelers team that's vastly different than the one that you guys saw in 2024, and I think you're going to be hopefully pleasantly surprised. Again, is there a possibility it falls off the cliff and blows up? Absolutely. Reese 79, I'm worried about Broderick. He got pushed around last year and he lost weight too. I think him losing weight, Reese, is a really good thing. I think it makes him quicker. I think it makes him more effective. I think that makes him in better shape, which in turn will make him stronger. Yeah, he's a big dude. I don't think losing a little bit of weight is going to be a tremendous downfall for him. I think it's going to play into his strong suit, being strong, athletic, and fast. That's what you want to see from Broderick Jones. You don't want to see a fat, slow Broderick Jones. That's not what you want to see. So I don't think Broderick Jones losing weight is going to be detrimental to his game. I think it's going to be a positive. We talk about that he stunk last year, but we all quickly forget about Broderick Jones in his rookie year, how we all praised him. Yeah, he had a lot of work to do with his technique and things of that nature. He failed in that category a lot of times. He won a lot due to brute strength, and that's okay for a rookie. You got to get through it however you got to get through it. You got to just figure it out. But I think Broderick Jones has put in the work and shown you as a Steeler fan this offseason by the tremendous effort that he's put in that he is all in for 2025. And he understands that 2025 has to be a pivotal year for him. And let's be honest, Broderick Jones is on my list of guys that you might say, oh, they might not be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I think that's false. I think he will be a Pittsburgh Steeler moving forward. And let's just say this, Broderick Jones is so ultra fucking talented, and I got to quit saying the F word tonight. But I think Broderick Jones is so talented that the potential is so high that he has a long, long career ahead of him inside of the NFL. Guys, tackles, offensive linemen in general don't grow on trees. That's why there isn't a ton of them on the free agency market that are good, and there isn't a ton of them available ever for trade. They just don't let them go. Teams don't let these guys go when they have them. And Broderick Jones, whether the Steelers want him or not, he has a long career ahead of him inside of an NFL helmet. And Broderick Jones definitely, in my eyes, has taken the necessary steps to be better here in 2025. And I think the hard work that Broderick Jones has put in, health wise, physically in terms of losing weight and being fast and hopefully working on his footwork, his schematics, I definitely think it's going to be very, very beneficial to a very big guy that's a very strong guy that's ultra, ultra talented. And I think he's going to have a big booming 2025, and I think the fan base will change their tune when it comes to Broderick freaking Jones. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. We truly, truly appreciate it. Jay Hook will throw some of your comments up there. We'll try to get through them all. If I miss them, I'm sorry. Also, we will be giving away the jersey tomorrow. Again, there's a discrepancy with a membership, whether somebody has it or they don't, and I don't want to. Yeah, I don't see it in there. Again, there's 107 people, but I don't have the heart to screw somebody over. So we will do that again tomorrow once I figure this thing out with this member. But again, super chats are always wide open, and we truly appreciate you guys for supporting the channel. We will talk about some of the players that may not make it through the summer, but you guys have had some really good conversation inside of the chat, and we're going off of that. Tom Ford ain't no party like a Diddy party. Ford, do you know how many playoff wins Mike Tomlin's won in his career with the Steelers? Yeah, 8. Yep, I knew that. I believe he's 8-10 or 8-11, something like that. Maybe 8-11 right now, Tom. And that's definitely when did a lot of those playoff wins come in at the front part of his career? Yeah, we're all well aware that Mike Tomlin has not done well in the playoffs. Absolutely. And I am no Mike Tomlin apologist or a fan of Mike Tomlin. I like Mike Tomlin as a player's coach, and I think he's had an amazing career. But I think, again, he has some deficiencies. So I'm not going to sit here and apologize for Mike Tomlin, and I think he can definitely do better. But hey, super chat coming in from Reese79. Truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very, very much for that super chat to kick things off here tonight. As always, we want to recognize our last month's main top contributor, JD. Thank you for that. JD, you are leading this month as I look also. So JD is the leader in contributions again this month. So make sure you guys always support us by liking, sharing, super chats, whatever you got to do. Memberships, 99 cents a month. We truly always appreciate that. Also, make sure you go check out my community tab. I put in some work from our producer, Jay Hook. Make sure you guys go check that out, like that up, share that up for him, and appreciate his hard work and determination in the music game and also here with us at Mike Drop Sports. So thank you very much to everybody. What's up, Roberta? Good to see you. AWOL, bang, bang, Steeler gang. Hold on, what did he say there, J Hook? I didn't see it. I think since we got Aaron Rodgers, I think every player will step up. They know they have the best quarterback. Yeah, man, maybe. No doubt about it. Maybe, man. No doubt about it. Make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns in there. Another one from Reese, 79. He threw the ball against the Jags, and they was the best in the league, but the worst in the run. And we had that line with Bell. That was Tomlin, True Football IQ. Are you talking about Aaron? I got to say this about Aaron Rodgers. This about Aaron Rodgers last season, guys. He had zero run game. He played for a shitty franchise with the Jets. They're horrible, guys. Let's face it. They don't know what they're doing, and it's very evident. They grab and they reach for everything. They have no real structure there whatsoever. Since Rex Ryan left there, they have nothing. And that's a fact, Jack. Rex Ryan brought them to prominence, brought them back to prominence. The Jets were good way back in the day, but they have been so misguided, man. They don't understand how to be loyal to anybody. They don't understand how to build a franchise, and they just fly by the seat of their pants. So let's face it. He had no run game. He had no offensive line at all. You thought the Steelers line was bad? Look at the fucking Jets line. They were horrible. Watch the All-22 tape, and you'll see exactly what Aaron Rodgers was dealing with. He had Garrett Wilson, tremendous talent, but that's not an Aaron Rodgers type receiver. And let's be real honest about that. Aaron Rodgers is more of a precision guy. That may cause a little concern with DK too. But hopefully they're able to work that out. But he did hook up with Wilson a lot. But again, he wasn't exactly the receiver that fits like a puzzle with Aaron Rodgers. Then he had Devontae Adams, the guy he played with, Lazard he played with, Conklin, who's a beast. He had weapons. So he was able to move and score the football. That wasn't a problem. The Jets had no defense either. They got scored on. And again, no run game. And you can't win that way in the NFL. Any team that wins games has a run game, guys. You just can't throw the ball all the time, score a bunch of points. It's just not going to happen. You're going to get stopped sometimes. You have to have a run game to eat up some of the clock, to gain some of that time of possession. You got to keep your defense off the field sometimes, especially when they fucking suck. So yeah, man, do I got to quit cussing tonight. I am in the F-bomb master here tonight, and it's driving me crazy, and it's just out of habit. What's up, Daniel Warman? Good to see you. I love your passion for your team. However, a quarterback in his 40s makes one nervous. Yeah, absolutely. His age does. But I got to say this. I've never been more confident about a 40-something-year-old quarterback than I am right now about Aaron Rodgers. Not since I saw Tom Brady suited up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and hoist the sticky Lombardi trophy. That's the last time that I was confident in a guy and his ability on the wrong side of 40. And I just think with the scenario, I'm looking at everything, not just Aaron Rodgers being 40-some years old. I'm looking at every factor involved. And again, I look at every team from every side of it. And I know a lot of us as fans, we get blinded by one singular thing. And that's why I always urge you guys, and I try to promote it. Look at every single factor. Look at everything involved in it. And I think it gives you a better picture. Mark Malone, this is going to be a serious offense, man. I hope so, man. I think the potential's there, but there's the potential for it to be shitty too. But I really hope so. All right, guys, let's dive into some players. And I forgot a water tonight, and I'm talking like a freaking the Micro Machine Man. Some of you young people don't know who the hell that is, but he talked really fast. But anyway, let's talk about some of the players that might not survive the summer, that may be on the final leg of their NFL careers. And let's bring up the biggest one. Memphis checking in. The Steelers have a chance to finish big, and I do mean big, all caps. I hope so, man. Good to see you, Terry Ward. Thanks for joining us from Memphis. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. AWOL bang Steeler gang. Let's talk about Roman Wilson. Everybody wants to hype Roman Wilson up, and I hope it's true. I hope he does take that step. But guys, we have to be realistic about Roman Wilson too. If he has another year where he is not on the football field, or he has just some horrible, shitty year to where he can't pick up the offense correctly, excuse me, or he has a bunch of injuries, I don't think Roman Wilson, a guy of his size, and he's not like some physical freak out there like a Terrell Owens, a Randy Moss, a monster guy, a DK Metcalf, to where his physical presence alone is going to buy him some time to put it all together. He's not that guy. And if he has 2 consecutive years without any type of production, I don't look for him to stick around long, guys. He's going to be forgotten really, really quick. Now, I think there's another side to this, though. I think Roman Wilson could take off and have a tremendous leap also. Again, last year, injuries and simply not understanding the playbook really hurt Roman Wilson last year and hurt his development. Calvin Austin missed his rookie season, was able to bounce back. So let's see if Roman Wilson can bounce back. But these guys that are undersized, that weren't highly touted, like I'm talking first round talents, if they miss 2 consecutive years, guys, I don't see how they make it through that. I just don't. I don't see the Steelers being willing to continue to do business. Roman Wilson has to at least show for a brief period of time this season, even if it's a 4 or 5 game stretch, that he can produce and produce at a high level and be very productive inside of the Steelers offense. Or it may be lights out because you can be easily forgotten with a league that has new guys coming into it every single year and tremendous amounts of wide receivers and guys at the skill position each and every year. And the Steelers will roll the dice on somebody else. You're not going to get 3 years to prove it without any type of production. Armand Wilson getting tutored so he can read. R. Wilson sneezes and gets hurt and can't read. I saw 3 plays where he looked good in college. I saw a lot more than 3, Armand. I get what you're saying, and I agree. He had problems, man, last year. He didn't understand the playbook. That was a big one. That's why he didn't get on the field late in the year. But the injuries were the biggest. That derailed his development early. And maybe there were some outside factors that were contributing to it also, maybe in his personal life. I don't know. I'm just saying maybe there were some outside factors there. But all in all, Roman Wilson just didn't get it together. And you cannot afford to have 2 years of no production. I'm just telling you guys, whether you're a Roman Wilson fan, whether you want to believe me or not, you will be forgotten if you have 2 years straight of zero production and you're not a physical freak like a DK Metcalf, and a Terrell Owens, somebody like that, that their sheer size and physical presence buys you time. You're not going to be able to do it. But that's really where we're at with Roman Wilson, guys. So this is a very pivotal year, a pivotal summer for Roman Wilson and his NFL career because the NFL is not for long, and it could definitely derail real quick here for Roman Wilson, and he is standing on thin ice right now in the National Football League, in my opinion. All right, next guy that I wanted to talk about and bring up, DeMarvin Leal. I just don't see where he fits, guys. I don't see where he fits. Where does he fit? He's not an outside edge rusher. He's not an outside backer, man. He just doesn't fit anywhere. He's a guy that definitely has size, definitely has some speed when healthy, but the injuries are a major concern. Anytime that he's shown any type of flashes, and I say that real loosely, because the guy showed you flashes last year in camp when they were in shorts and a fucking helmet, guys. And that can't be what you go off of. I need to see you making moves with the pads on, man. I need to hear some cracking. I need to see some plays. I need to see something when you got the pads on when it matters. You can be as good as you want with shorts on, and a lot of coaches fall for that shit, man. See these tremendous athletes out there rocking it in shorts and a helmet, but when the pads come on, and it's a little bit different story, man. Yeah, he does fit on the waiver wire, no doubt. I think this is a real defining year for DeMarvin Leal. He's not a defensive lineman. I don't know where he fits for the Steelers. A lot of people were saying his sideline to sideline speed's awesome last year. Again, shorts and a helmet, not doing real shit. And the guy gets injured. The guy was injured. What are you going to do? So I think DeMarvin Leal is hanging by a thread. But we'll see what happens there. Another one on my list, and we'll stay in that linebacker theme. Jeremiah Moon, 6'5", 247, tremendous athlete, but yet entering year 4? He's been in the league 3 years, 2 seasons with the Baltimore Ravens, 1 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now entering 2025. Do the Steelers have room for a guy like Moon when you draft players like Jack Sawyer? Or are you going to get bumped out there? So Jeremiah Moon is a guy that I think is on a bubble, is a tremendous bubble guy for this year. I'm not sure that there is a spot for Jeremiah Moon. The guy in 2024 only had 4 tackles for your Pittsburgh Steelers, 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 INTs. And then for his career, 21 total games played. I think he has 15 or 20, like anywhere from 15 to 20 total tackles. That's not good enough. He has literally 0 sacks, 0 forced fumbles, 0 interceptions over his time in the NFL. And that's not good enough, guys. He's played in 21 games. Yeah, he hasn't got a tremendous amount of opportunities, but you got to make one of those opportunities stick, and he's not been able to do that. So I think Jeremiah Moon is somebody that's definitely a bubble guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm not sure how he can find his way into the Steelers rotation or on this roster for 2025. Any other comments? DeMarvin looks like a real little guy trapped in a bigger body with that tiny head. AWOL, I swear you need to be the next coach. All these F bombs will scare our players. I don't coach. I don't cuss with my youth players, man. When I coach youth football, I don't cuss. But I do expect them to start to learn, and it does frustrate me sometimes because I would love to put in a lot of concepts in terms of like the pass game, all the pass game concepts, the floods, the smashes, the all that stuff. I just want to put in a ton of things, man, and I have so many ideas in my head. But I got to realize I coach with other people, plus you're dealing with kids. So it's like, yeah, I have a tremendous amount of ideas, but it's really, really hard to implement them. So I try to be a little bit looser. Tom Ford, I'm kind of looking forward to getting Romeo Dobbs. I never know, man. I hope so. That'd be cool. I know I spelled his. It's all right, dude. I get you. I get you, brother. Let's move on to the next player. Black and Gold. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to rewatch this afterwards. This live keeps freezing on me every few seconds. I'm not sure, bro. Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on. I hope nobody else is having that problem. It looks good on my end. I don't think there's any issues. Jay Hook would have told me if he was having issues, but I'm not sure. Sorry if it's from us, but I think it's maybe. I hope it's not on our end. We'll see. I like Jalen McMillan. He was cooking starters as a rookie. Is it true the Steelers want to trade for him still? I think there's tons of players they would like to trade for, but you just don't know. It's just, there's tons of rumors out there, and again, I think skill position players in terms of a wide receiver are really their focus. Unless they can get a guy, you hear the Jalen Ramsey talk, and I say it would never be done for any type of big type of money. Now, if they'll give him away for a 5th round pick, let's be honest, he's a $21 million cap hit in 2025. So if you can get him for a 5th or 6th round pick and you just got to eat that cap space for 1 year, then fuck it. Do it. That's what I say. Roll with it if that's the case. But, I don't foresee any other players besides a skill player coming in. So we'll see what happens there. But again, Jalen Ramsey, if you can get him for dirt cheap in terms of compensation and draft capital, maybe you take on that salary because the Steelers are going to have that flexibility. Once you sign TJ Watt, that's going to free up cap space. Maybe you rework a deal with Minkah Fitzpatrick. Maybe that frees up cap space. There are options, tremendous options to continue to free up cap space, not counting the available cap space they already have currently at their disposal. So the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely going to add somebody, and it's going to probably be a wide receiver, and it may be a couple more players, guys, but the Steelers will add during this summer. And you just got to stay in tune for it. It's going to happen. It's just who and when. But I look for something to happen within this dead period right now between now and Latrobe. I look for something to happen in terms of a wide receiver there. They want to load Aaron Rodgers up with weapons. So I look for something there to happen. I look for that shoe to drop, and perhaps maybe they wait until they get into camp when teams become a little bit more desperate and realize they're not going to have a good football team in 2025, and they offload guys. Maybe a guy like the New Orleans Saints receiver, Chris Olave, all of a sudden becomes available. Somebody that's a bigger name. So maybe the Steelers hold out until then to make that splash wide receiver move. But somebody is going to come because the Steelers have the money to spend, and they are going to spend it. They kind of have to. So the Steelers are going to make a move, guys. We'll see. Yeah, I know who it is, man, but it is what it is. I just don't know. if the Steelers are going to be interested in who it's going to be or what. Sorry, guys, my hat is all crooked. But it is what it is. That's what happens when you're trying to straighten it in the camera. Mark Collins Fitzpatrick said he would take a pay cut and rework his contract to stay in Pittsburgh for his career. I don't remember hearing that, Mark. I don't remember seeing that anywhere, but you may be right, buddy. I never heard that being one of his comments, but you may be right. I just never seen it. So hopefully he did say that because he's going to have to. He's not going to be able to say, well, I'm willing to, because they'll figure it out one way or another, whether he's willing or not. The Steelers are probably going to figure that out. Again, he has no guaranteed money left. It would probably be in his best interest to figure that out. Thank you, man. Thank you, JD. We appreciate that, man. Big super chat coming in from JD. Last month's top contributor, JD, in the fucking house. Thank you. He says, for all you do, Jason, just to go live. Thank you, man. It is a challenge, and I do appreciate that you guys appreciate me. I'm very humbled by that. Thank you very, very much. And again, thank you to JD. Definitely much, much appreciated, man. One of the OGs. And again, guys, super chats are always open to support our work here at Mike Drop Sports. We truly, truly appreciate that. Last month, we definitely took a leap. Now we need to take a leap again in terms of subscribers. We're in that NFL dead period, but we're still here grinding on the channel. And we do that each and every day. So thank you very much again for the super chats tonight. Again, very much appreciated. Let's keep going, guys. Let's talk about the next player on this list, man. Connor Hayward, a guy that I don't know how he fits offensively. I don't see it. I don't see him fitting offensively, man, any longer. He's had a lot of time to figure it out, and whether that's bad on the Steelers' part or it's a Connor Hayward thing, I think it's definitely something that has to be looked at. The only thing that saves him is the ability to play a tremendous amount of special teams. That's what saves him. That's what gives him the in. It's not his last name. It probably maybe helps. I don't know. But let's be honest. Connor Hayward, special teams wise, it's lights out. Plays really, really well, man. Definitely plays really, really well on special teams. And that's something the Steelers value, man. They value Danny Smith guys. They value those players big time. They really, really, truly do. But I don't see how Connor Hayward can survive another year without any type of contributions on the offensive side of the football in terms of some production. So I don't know how the Steelers and Connor Hayward continue to do business if he's not going to give you anything offensively. Now, I really had high hopes for him, but let's be honest. His physical presence isn't one in which would excite you. His athleticism isn't one in which, it's not going to excite you either. But again, Connor Hayward plays lights out on special teams. He really, really does. You have guys like Miles Killebrew that have played so long and built a whole career off of being good on special teams. So that can be possible, but when you play the tight end position or the fullback position, whatever the freak they have him listed as, you're going to need to have some production. You're going to need to be a little bit more of a contributor offensively. And I think that that's going to be his Achilles heel. But again, he can have a career throughout this league and for years just being good at special teams. So that's what keeps Connor Hayward around. But until he starts to produce elsewhere, besides with Danny Smith in that special teams unit, he's going to be a bubble guy for me and a guy that could always potentially be out of a job. And I think Connor Hayward is there, man. And I think that it could possibly be this year if the Steelers feel like it. Rogers might save Connor if he can get open because he has hands, but you're right. Yeah, he does have hands. I had tremendously high hopes for him. I wanted him to play a Dallas Clark type role, an H-back type role, a guy that played out of the backfield, that could line up anywhere, be a real Swiss Army knife. I had tremendous, really, potential in my head for what I thought his role could be for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but it never developed and it's never taken shape, whether that's on the coaching schematics or if that's on the player. I think that that's yet to be determined in my head. because I've seen flashes, but let's face it, does he fit the NFL mold in terms of his presence? No. But overall, you really were excited for him because you thought that athletically he could get it done. And, he does have some good hands at times. And you were hoping that that would shine through, but it just hasn't yet. So I think he is a bubble guy. Mark Collins, they are going to replace him with the rookie tight end, halfback, fullback. He is a special teams diamond with Smith. Is his last name 6'3", 245. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and his name's eluding me. I know who you're talking about, and that's why I'm saying he's probably a bubble guy, man. I think there's guys all around this roster that could potentially take over his spot. You look at guys like what was his name? Shit. There's a couple guys anyway that definitely are young, could potentially push him out of there. But Connor holds on because of his special teams, and that is something that is very valuable in the NFL at times, especially with guys so far down on the depth chart like Connor that eat up those last, 51, 52, 53 spots on the roster. That those guys that eat up those spots have to be really, really good special teams wise. But when you look at the roster and you're trying to construct it, sometimes you kick guys out of there that look like Connor Hayward in terms of just being a special teams guy. You bring in a guy that you think can be kind of good on special teams, but also can contribute elsewhere sometimes and give you some more flexibility. And that's just how the cookie crumbles, man. But again, you can make a career off of it. Armand, difficult to assess Hayward as to me, he hasn't been used properly. He's okay at league minimum. Yeah, as long as he's cheap. But again, when you move into that veteran money, the Steelers may just say, I don't want to pay that vet minimum. Maybe I want to go with a rookie minimum. Maybe I want to get an undrafted free agent rookie. Maybe I can find somebody that does the same things. That's the position Connor starts to find himself in as his career develops and progresses. You find yourself into that spot. They're not going to pay veterans because the veteran minimum is more than a rookie minimum in terms of a undrafted guy or a seventh round or sixth round pick. They're going to want to get those young, fresh legs in there as opposed to pay somebody that would be a second contract guy that's just a special teamer. They can find that, hopefully. Again, it can be done, but it's rare cases like Miles Killebrew, guys like that aren't, in abundance throughout the NFL. Yeah, DJ Thomas Jones. That's it, Mark. Yes, that's it. Yeah, there's a couple guys, man. I did a big show on DJ Thomas Jones, and I have a lot of notes on him. I got to look those back up and see what I had. Gilbride, definitely, Mark. That's another one. Does Bruner's son have talent? He can turn into Mike Vrabel or something. I think Carson Bruner has talent. I think he has the ability to tackle well and things of that nature. But as far as Carson Bruner, he's going to be a crapshoot too, man. He's just one of those young guys. I'm looking for my notes on all those young guys because I haven't talked about them in a while, but definitely brought up a lot. Oh, yeah, Carson Bruner. Yeah, linebacker, 6'1", 227. Good tackler, good eyes, reads well. Good upper body strength, special teams monster, ace. So that might kick a guy like Connor Hayward out. Here's a guy that can play defense. Maybe he can contribute later down the road, but he can contribute on special teams. So maybe that's the case. There's some other guys, too, that I did a lot of work on in terms of undrafted rookie free agents. That was something I did a lot of work on during the draft, and I just can't find all my notes on it. But, hey, they're in there somewhere. We went over it at one point. But let's see. Nope, I can't find it right here. I just wanted to bring it up if I could find it in my notes, but I can't find them all. Yeah, I like Gilbride's chances. I think there's a lot of guys. We'll go back over them. I'll find all my notes again. I did a real deep assessment on a lot of them, so I don't want to give you guys improper information. So I definitely want to revisit those guys again. AWOL, bang, bang, Steeler gang. This podcast is the closest I get to football. Mike drop sports. 45 other podcasts, 7, and I'm taking the over. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, dude. Thank you. AWOL, bang, bang. Appreciate it, man. And thank you guys for tuning in to another damn good show. We're going to go for a couple minutes more here on Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow as it'll be our second live show of the week. And we're only going to do 3 as we're in this 5 to 6 week dead period here of the NFL. It's truly the NFL offseason right now, as there's really nothing going on unless something happens. We'll add an extra show, but we're going to go about 3 a week here until that's over. I am going to be going on vacation soon and things of that nature. So, I definitely want to make sure that I don't oversaturate you guys with things that I've already talked about. I don't think to repeat myself is a good thing. But definitely we will make it through, man. We will make it through. And training camp tickets will be available on Ticketmaster. They're absolutely free. Those are coming up in the next few days, I believe. I did get the alert from Ticketmaster, so I am going to go on there and secure a lot of tickets for those days. There's one good thing about not being part of the media and having a media credential is I don't have to follow all the rules. I can video whatever I want to video, and I'll put it up there. I don't mind. I don't care. It is what it is. If you care about it that much, you'll report it, I guess. And the Steelers probably don't care about Jason and Mike Drop Sports that much and what I'm putting up there. But I go up there with my camera and my stabilizer. I don't mind. I'll do it. Last year, I didn't get a lot of good shit because I was hanging out with my kid and stuff. So, but this year I'm gonna try to get up there several days and get that done. But it has its benefits sometimes to be in the crowd. Did they get rid of Patterson? No, he's still on the roster. Cordell Patterson is a guy that could be eliminated also. A guy that just, in my eyes, can't contribute any longer. So we'll see what happens there. But that's a guy I think is a bubble guy to be cut off to. We're after June 1 now, so they could get rid of him at any moment. But, you also have guys hanging around that could potentially push him out too. If you're talking about 4 running backs or, whatever, you have the Trey Sermons and players like that that are lingering around. So maybe, that pushes a guy like Cordell Patterson out the door. You also have guys like Calvin Anderson, Spencer Anderson. They'll all be around. Those guys that add depth to that offensive line, because I think that's a weakness for the Steelers in terms of their offensive line. They need to have some depth there. But that's what I try to tell you guys. Offensive linemen just aren't hanging out ripe for the picking where you just go grab them all the time via trade, via free agency. It's not the way it works, guys. But we'll see. I would love that, Mark. I would love them to trade for Cordell Patterson, man. I would love it. Give us whatever, because I think any return on that would be exceptional. I think it would be awesome. And I think it'd be something really, really cool. All right, guys, I'm going to start wrapping it up, man. Again, thank you for joining us here on a Tuesday. Thank you for the super chats. Don't forget to get your Mic Drop Mafia memberships. Sadly, if you weren't a member by 5:30 today, you will not be in tomorrow's drawing. I am gonna try to get this situation figured out because, again, I gotta be fair and I gotta make sure everybody is treated fairly. So I gotta figure that situation out. The person, you know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name, but we will figure it out. I promise. And I am not trying to say anything ignorant or anything. But we will figure it out, and then we will have our drawing to make it absolutely 1,000% fair. The merchandise is right here. So you guys know it's here. We'll get it done. We're in a dead part of the summer, so more anticipation, the better. But we'll get it, man. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys so very much. I'm truly humbled by everything that you do for me. And I hope we do a lot for you in terms of giving back to you in terms of our football talk here on Mike Drop Sports. So, yeah. Until tomorrow, man. I'm Jason, J Hook behind the keys. Make sure you go check out his stuff. I posted that in our community tab, and I'll share a live picture so you can see that you're in the right place tomorrow, or figure out a little clip or something to help promote that, so you guys can go check out J Hook and the good work he does. So thank you to everybody, and peace, my friends. See you on the next one.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's